Oh, I'm back at it again. Whoa! I said back at it again. Oh, yes. I'll need my other keyboard. Because it's so much nicer to type on. Ah. Wouldn't it be great if I had another like monitor that I could just, have have the ebook on instead of reading it off this tiny Android screen? Maybe I can get like a. Can I like? Can I just like slide it in there, bro? I think I may have done what's known as a gamer move, a pro gamer move. Oh, come on! Oh, it's weighing down the mic. This is the opposite of a pro gamer move, isn't it? It could be good. It could be good. You never know. It may end up in a lot of extraneous mic boom noises, but it could be good. Who knows? That's right up. It is lit. It is actually blocking my view now. Yes, it's right up in my grill. Maybe if I. Ah! Can you hear the mic boom scream under the weight? It's actually quite nice to look at here. I'm not gonna lie. It'd be tempting to have like a. I could put the gooseneck just like right there, have it like spin around. Oh, that's real tempting. I might pick one up next time I'm passing a shop that sells horrible smartphone gooseneck stands. Because this is not a heavy phone. This is a very lightweight phone. In comparison to my actual phone, or any other phone that I've used in history, which have all been massive fucking chunk meisters. What were we doing last week? We were talking about return values from. I just realized me scrolling is going to be a horrible noise, isn't it? It's not going to work out for you guys, is it? I'm so sorry. I'll stop. I'll stop now. Oh, there. I've stopped. I think we did this already. Let's indicate whether the following function is legal. If so, explain why not it does, and then change any errors and explain it. I think we did that. Write a recursive function to print the contents of a vector. Yeah, that's where we stopped because I thought that was ridiculous. Why would you do that? Oh! What would happen if the stopping value in a factorial function does not equal 0? We did that. That's what Factorio is. If indicu does not equal 0, return Factorio indicu minus 1 times indicu. In the call to factorial, why do we pass value minus 1 rather than value minus minus? Yeah, we did all that. Returning a pointer to an array. Because we cannot copy an array, a function cannot return an array. However, a function can return a pointer or a reference to an array. Unfortunately, the syntax used to define functions that return pointers or references to arrays can be intimidating. Fortunately, there are ways to simplify such declarations. Type def int rt10 using rt10 equals int10. RT star func in I. That's great. Ah! My screen's just gone white. Like, oh. Do not care about premium features. I just want to read Acrobat Reader files. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Every day is someone's birthday. That means you can always eat cake. I'm not sure about this. I usually enjoy Cafe Direct coffee, but it's kind of sharp. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'm brewing it with too hot water. Maybe I'm not using enough grands. It's acidic, like palatably acidic, palpably acidic, veritably acidic. I'm still babysitting that knife, by the way. It's getting there. I think it's pretty much good enough. I just want to even out the so basically I left it overnight, obviously because I was asleep, tilted over one side in the cup, and the brass has got a nice dark line through it where it has been tilted. Just trying to even that out by tilting it the other way and leaving it a couple of as. I'm just checking on it. The actual steel has darkened nicely, nice and evenly. There was a light area, as I said, of banding, where it had the waterline had dropped, and it had started to etch less of the steel. So there were some lines, some light patches. They are going. They are going. They are getting gone. These declarations, if we want to define a function that returns a pointer to an array, the dimension must follow the function's name. However, a function includes a parameter list, which also follows the name. The parameter list precedes the dimension, hence the form of the function that returns a pointer to an array is type star function parameter list dimension. Wow, that is intimidating. Let's that's scary. Can I not collapse that boy? Oh, I guess he'd only be a single line, wouldn't he? So yeah, okay. That's scary. Why would anyone write code that's scary, dude? As in any other array declaration, type is the type of the elements and dimension is the size of the array. Good. Parenthesis around star function parameter list are necessary for the same reason that they were required when we defined P2. Without them, we'd be defining a function that returns an array of pointers. Yes. Not a pointer to an array. Big brain style coding. You know, I started making a MIDI controller based around an Arduino microcontroller. That's all in C. Maybe if we get to a nice stopping point in this book, we can I can finish that on stream. Haha. And it can be like an 8-hour stream, and everyone will hate their lives after the end of it. I'll just use a whole bunch of copy paste scripts from my Arduino cookbooks and that one YouTube video by Notes and Volts. Notes and Volts. I'm pretty sure he's the guy who made the Arduino MIDI controller. He wrote a couple of scripts and a couple of header files for MIDI, or he included them at least in his code. His code's pretty good. But you would not believe, like, there's a, I don't know if it's just me, but like, have you ever tried to write code to deal with like switches or knobs? Man, that shit is hard. Why why anyone gonna need that? Like, because if you have it in main, if you just have your function for your switch or your knob in main, it's gonna interrupt your entire program. You won't be able to do anything while you're using the knob or the switch. And then you won't be able to use the knob or the switch until it's cycled to the next, check knob or switch call. Which is why I was thinking to myself, well, they've got to be, asynchronous or multi-threaded. Either way. Either way would work fine, but they have to be one or the other, if not both. And I don't know. I think the Arduino deals with some hardware interrupts based on its I/O because it's a serial microcontroller and not just a processor. So maybe it's just a natural kind of hacky workaround. But oh, action 633. We're already here. Exercises. Did I say action? Jesus Christ. It's early. It's not early. It's 2 p.m. I haven't finished my coffee. That's my excuse. Write the declaration for a function that returns a reference to an array of 10 string without using either a trailing return declaration type or a type alias. Okay, you lost me there, buddy. I know I'm this far into the book, and apparently I should know what all those words mean, but isn't it just going to be like what I wrote there at the top? So it'll be like turns a reference to an array of 10 strings. So string and whatever. Like that. Visual Studio says no. Visual Studio says yes. No, Visual Studio still says no. Visual Studio, do you want to tell me why no? Visual Studio says yes. Visual Studio says that is syntactically okay. Although we haven't got any of this like actually done. But that's a suitable definition. Write the declaration. No, write 3 additional declarations for the function in the previous exercise. One should use a type alias, one should use a trailing return, third should use a declaration type. Which form do you prefer and why? Okay. What? Type aliasing is... does it matter? Trailing return. What is a trailing return? You know what? It's times like this that Uncle Google can help us with our fun problem. Go. Trailing returns. A trailing return are the returns generated over a given period. It can be the... No. Google, bad boy. Trailing returns type C++ 11 IBM. Oh, IBM.com. We hit the big time knowledge centers here. Says IBM supports selected features of C++ 11, blah blah blah, known as C++ 0x. Before its ratification, IBM will continue to develop and implement features of this standard, blah blah blah. Function identifier, parameter declaration, CV qualifier sequence, exception declaration, return type. Syntax is not one for a function declaration or a definition. The auto placeholder occurs in the syntax declaration, so the return type specified. A trailing return type feature removes a C++ limitation where a return type of a function template cannot be generated if the return type depends on the types of the function arguments. For example, A and B are arguments of a function template multiply. Constant A and A, constant B and B, where A and B are of arbitrary types. Without the trailing return type feature, you cannot declare a return type for the multiply function template to generalize all cases for A times B. With this feature, you can specify the return type after the function arguments. This resolves the scoping problem when return type of a function template depends on types of the function arguments. Function identifier, parameter declaration, CV qualifier sequence, exception declaration, return type. What? To use the trailing return type feature, declare a generic return type with the auto keyword before the function identifier. Specify the exact return type after the function identifier. For example, use declaration type keyword to specify the exact return type. In the following example, the auto keyword is put before the function identifier add. The return type of add is declaration type A plus B, which depends on the types of the function arguments A and B. This is shit tier fucking coding. This has got to be bad. This has got to increase your compile times by like huges. Okay, here we go. Template. Auto add. First type A, first type B, declaration type A plus B. Oh, you get to use an arrow. Right, okay. So for this, what the hell? Template type name, first type name. But they don't have types. They're just fucking vanilla flavored nuggets. Vanilla beanies. People are sending me messages angrily, I'm sure. So we need that, right? We need the template. Template goes outside of. Do you know what? These are inside main where we gotta we gotta take those to the H file. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yes, it's not a function. It's a function definition, idiot face. So they've got type name. That is just the thing that it does. AO. Bayo. Do you need anything after that? No. I don't know why there is a huge number of spaces there. I guess I've got the coder keyboard that automatically adds a whole shit ton of spaces to my shit. In fact, can I have this on my main monitor so I'm not fucking spinning around trying to see it? I can, and you can't see it. Ooh, there it is. Haha. Isn't that cool? Isn't that crazy cool? It's blinding. Yes, it's a white text page, and it's gone because it's not on. Bastard. Why you gotta be like this? Oh, it was with an E. I'm an idiot. Something's gone wrong here. Ah, they're type names. They're not egg names, right? Big brain plays. I think the biggest thing that annoys me about this keyboard is that the B key is the Beats by Dre logo. Or the Bass by Dre. Are people typing? I actually can't see now. People are. Thank God. Thank God no one is typing into the chat room or unlocking the chat channel emotes using their channel points. That would be terrible. Come on. Nobody wants that. Is that who I think it is? Buddy, your guitar neck is done, dude. You can take it. Anytime. Ah, no! Come back! Come back! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I shook the window angrily, and you know the Windows function does that thing. Please. What is this? It says no. IBM says yes, but this says no. Look, I'll show you. IBM says yes. IBM says that's how you do it. Visual Studio says, I don't work for IBM. Pay me my money. Add semicolon at the end of the previous token. What previous token, mate? This here. This is interesting, but I'm 100% sure the book hasn't talked about this at all. Visual Studio wants me to do this. Ah, it broke everything. Thank you. I know what it is. Is it this? Yes. Just return. I don't even care. What's wrong with that? String and retrarny string JSON 10. So it returns a reference. Should that not just be... Should that not just be JSON? No. It's fine just like that, apparently. I don't get it. What have I done wrong? Everything, I'm sure. Hey. Create declaration definition. Move definition location. And do it for me. It's spooling. It's doing something. It is not happy with me. Int 10, switch online. I typed it right. Yeah. Do you know what? It might be that. Yeah, A plus B, right? Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Okay. That's... My brain has been crippled by even trying to get through this one, I'm afraid. And then third, once she's trailing return, third she used declaration type. Which one do you put in? What? Oh, right. Right. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. So that's fine. Let's just no. IntelliSense can suck a dick. Whatever that is. Just copy or paste it. Theo and Treo. I think we need those actually. if we get rid of that, yeah, and then just strings, mate. Oh right, we don't. That's just because it's an unknown. That's just because it's an unknown return type. We can specify the return type right here, and we can just just hello. Fun for you, yeah? A pointer to a string, a pointer to an array of strings, an array of 10 strings. Correct? Honestly, my brain is just like frozen with fucking Rust. I'm having a hard time even thinking about how that would be useful. I'm sure it's useful in some circumstance. I'm sure it's a thing to know. But yes, I had the brainwave feeling. I feel like that's unlocked knowledge. So we could have a semicolon the return, oh boy. These functions don't do anything. They just kind of fuck around, don't they? And then using declaration type. If we know our arrays to which our function can return a pointer, we can use declaration type to declare a return type. The following function returns a pointer to one of two arrays depending on the value of its parameter. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have. I'm gonna write this out for posterity because it's an interesting format, but. Whoa. There it is. I remember this. What's that? What's this? Fuck. Show me what it is, boy. It's a switch? No. It's a switch? No. It's a switch? No. It's a comma expression? No. It's character strings, arrays, iterators, vector strings, sales data. It's bitwise operator? No. Unsigned long bitboy equals 1 count bitboy and loss bitboy. We lost it. I can't remember what that is at all. What is the question mark operator? No, not the addition operator. The question mark. For God's sake. Why did you take the question mark? Fuck you! Oh my god. It's not an operator. Oh good, yeah. Search for the question mark. Oh wait, it's a colon, isn't it? I hate this. It's really gone. Like we did it so long ago. I could have swore it was below this, but above this, like in between here. Yeah, it's right here. What's it called? We don't. V modulo 2 equals 0. Oh, well we could shorten that in fact to, because wait, no, we can't. Can we shorten that? No, wait, what? Wait, what? What we got here? I modulo 2 and odd. Oh yeah, no, yeah, we can't. We'd have to flip the arguments over. Because here it's testing if modulo 2 is 0, then it's going to be odd. Duh. Wait. No, if modulo 2, it's going to be false, so it's going to do even. Yeah. I know what I was trying to say. I just didn't say it. Oh boy. Oh boy. I've still got coffee to go, so we can. That's got a real. Like I remember having some nice coffee from Machu Picchu, and it was a light roast, and it was really good. It was like real gentle on the palate, a little bit kind of smoky, but like fruit smoke, like if you were smoking some kind of a fruit flavored shisha or hookah, depending on the rurality of your. Give me my Google back, please. I'm going to keep the web browser in a place where I can just click it, bring it to the front, and not click on any fucking hyperlinks. Be nice. There we go. Revise the arbiter function on to return a reference to the array. No. Would we not just would we not just change the star to an and? Uh-oh. Okay. Initial value of a reference to non-const must be an L value. It's an L, it's not an I. It looks like an I, but it's an L. Initial value of reference to non-const must be an L value. It seems like a can of worms. Return value type does not mention the function typing. Maybe, I don't know. It didn't throw up any errors, so... Or is this going to be one of those things where it's actually just going to give me the memory address now, and I fucked it up completely? Oh! Seems good to me. No one called me out, so... Overloaded functions. Yes. Let's just hide those away, I think. Functions that have the same name but different parameter lists and that appear in the same scope are overloaded. For example, we define several functions named print, void print const char stp, void print const int star beg, constant int star end, void print constant int ia bracket size t size. Okay. These functions perform the same general action but apply to different parameter types. When we call these functions, the compiler can deduce which function we want based on the argument type we pass. Well, that's cool. Consider a database application with several functions to find a record based on name, phone number, account number, and so on. Function overloading lets us define a collection of functions, each named lookup, that differ in terms of how they do the search. We can call lookup passing a value of any several types. Good. So when you're declaring overloaded functions, you can't have two functions that share the same number and type of arguments, parameters, sorry. The second function defined that way is an error. Okay, this is cool. We saw in 6.2.3, page 212, top level const has no effect on the objects that can be passed to the function. Parameter that has top level const is indistinguishable from one without a top level const. Yes. Yes. So, okay. What? On the other hand, we can overload based on whether the parameter is a reference or a pointer to the const or non-const version of a given type. Such consts are low level. Okay, so low level const makes a difference. High level const, top level const does not make a difference. Excellent. In these cases, the compiler can use the constness of the argument to distinguish which function to call, because there is no conversion from const. We can pass a const object or a pointer to const only to the version with a const parameter, because there is a conversion to const. We can call either function on a non-const object or a pointer to a non-const. However, we'll see in 661, page 246, compiler will prefer the non-const versions when we pass a non-const object to a pointer or a pointer to non-const. Okay, it's giving us advice on when to not use overload of function names. Basically, you should overload function names when the functions are going to do the same thing, or at least a highly similar thing, but maybe not so much. Interesting. Cool and good. We have been going an hour, so I should probably just drink up my coffee and move on to the next segment. But I want to get to the end of the chapter or something. Calling an overload function. Function matching, also known as overload resolution, is process by which particular function call is associated with a specific function with a set of overload functions. Great. So the compiler will look at what you've written, we'll look at the functions, we'll look at the function overloads, and it will be like, that one. And then it will assign the function to the function and do the function with your function. So your stuff won't compile if you mess it up. So you'll know when you'll know when you've messed up. Explain the effect of the second declaration in each of the following sets of declarations. Indicate which, if any, are illegal. Int calc, int calc, constant, illegal. Function overloaded, function with the same input. Illegal. They're the same. You don't need the second one. Int get, double get. Ooh, is that legal? Is that legal? They don't have return types. Sorry, they have return types. They don't have input types, which I guess is fine. One gets a double, one gets an int. I don't know. I don't know. That might be good, that might be bad. It's probably ambiguous, and it's probably going to throw an error. Because C++ likes to deal with float values and integer values by truncating the floating point. So I'm sure that will get you into trouble somehow. So you might want to call that getInt and getFloat. That could be cool. Int star reset, int star, double star reset, double star, that's fine. That's totally fine. So one is dealing with ints, one is dealing with doubles. Maybe it's fine because the argument is a double. The argument will be a floating point value. Right? Ordinarily, it is a bad idea to declare a function locally. We're on to 641, overloading and scope in the C++ primer, version 5. Programmers new to C++ are often confused about the interaction between scope and overloading. However, overloading has no special properties with respect to scope. As usual, if we declare a name in an inner scope, the name hides users of that name declared in the outer scope. Names do not overload across scopes. Cool. Most readers will not be surprised that the call to read is an error. Yes. Most readers will not be call print and compile the first sentence and declaration of that name, finds the local declaration for print, takes an int. Once the name is found, the compiler ignores use of the name in any outer scope. Instead, the compiler assumes that the declaration bound is the one for the name we are using, which remains. What remains is to see if the use of the name is valid. In C++, name lookup happens before type checking. Good. Features for specialized users. Let's have a little swig of coffee and just talk about C for a little while, huh? Maybe another swig of the old coffee. The drinking coffee, not the etching coffee. It's really not pleasant to drink, is it? It's just, I'm pretty sure it's me. Maybe I'll try putting it in the mocha instead of doing a drip. mocha instead of a drip. Oh, I'm so sorry. Smack the mic boom with a coffee. Yeah. The default argument. Some functions have parameters that are given a particular value in most, but not all calls. In such cases, we can declare that common value as a default argument for the function. Functions with default arguments can be called with or without that argument. For example, we might use a string to represent the contents of a window by default. We might want the window to have a particular height with background character, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Type def string, string size sz, screen, string, screen, sz, provided a default for each parameter. Default argument is specified as an initializer for a parameter in the parameter list. We may define defaults for one or more parameters. Wherever a parameter has a default argument, all parameters that must follow it must also have default arguments. Right, so any variables, any input variables, any argument variables that you want in your function come first, and then you have anything that has a default value. Excellent. So yeah, you can override the default values by typing them in your function in your function call in your main code. Good. Can only omit trailing arguments. Yes. So you have to fill defaults from the right to the left, and you have to fill arguments from the left to the right. You can't leave out any arguments that are not initialized in the function, and you can't skip any arguments that you want to set, right? Huh. That's pretty cool. There's an example where he's putting in a question mark instead of a number, and C++ will do an automatic type conversion on the fly, as it were, and will automatically set the question mark to the decimal value 63. Passive work, designing a function with default arguments is ordering the parameters so that those least likely to use default values appear first, and those more likely to use the default appear last. Yes. Otherwise, you will have to specify those values every time you use the thing, and it's a pain, right? So you can't omit non-trailing arguments. Although it's a normal practice to declare a function once inside a header, it's illegal. It's legal to redeclare a function multiple times. However, each parameter can have its default specified only once in a given scope. Thus, any subsequent declaration can add a default only for a parameter that has not previously had a default specified. As usual, defaults be specified only if all parameters have the right have already have defaults. I understand the words that were said, but my brain didn't really twig to what it was saying, and now I don't think it's very useful. So the example is they have string screen szsz char equals space, and then the error is szsz char equals star, redeclaration, which is illegal. And then the next one is sc equals 20, sc equals 80 char, which is fine, adds defaults to the left hand arguments. But I thought that you could maybe add on the end. It's not going to cover that, maybe. Which of either of the following declarations are errors, and why? Int ff, int a, int b equals 0, int c equals 0, that's fine. Char init, int 24, int would char begrund. No. You have got your default as the first parameter in the parameter list. You can't do that. Defaults have to be on the right hand side of the parameter list, please. So you'd have to either move that or take out the default value. That would be fine. Which, if any of the following calls are illegal? Which, if any, are legal but unlikely to match the programmer's intent? Why? Char star init, int height, int would, char equals background init. Empty arguments is not fine. You're missing the argument for int height, ht, whatever, however you want to pronounce ht. Init 2410, that's fine. You're going to set ht to 24, you're going to set wd from 80 to 10, and the char background is going to be normal. Init 14 star is fine, but you will have the unintended consequence of having an integral type conversion of the star character to an integer for wd. Give the second parameter of make plural the default argument of s. Test your program by printing singular and plural versions of the word success and failures. Whoop. Oh. I don't really feel like hunting down where this code is in the book, in the manual, because it's obviously going to be on one of the back pages, and then I have to find where I was previously, so we're not going to do that, okay? I'm almost out of my coffee, so probably just gonna leave it there. It's just I think I already saved these. Yeah, we're good. So I'm gonna finish my coffee. I'm gonna get myself a drink. And I don't know, we'll have a small break. We'll play a video game, I think. What is it? It's 3 o'clock. We will not have a small break to play a video. We will not have a small break to play a video game. We'll just jump straight over into the Unreally Boy. It's the only real sensible thing to do. Oh. tiniest slam on the planet. Oh, get rid of the zoom toggle, huh? Look at that, it's... Well, there's some free stuff to claim. Anyway, that's the end of this segment. We're gonna go for a small break where I organize this, and I get a new drink to continue doing this. I figured if I did it earlier, I would have more steam to do it with, and my brain will be actually turned on. So if you came to watch the live video up till this point, thanks for coming to watch the live video. Came to watch the video on demand of this section. Thank you for coming to watch the video on demand. And as always, I will see you in the next episode shortly.